Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. We have Nosy Nate here cleaning himself, and what's behind him over there? Anyway, waiting. So, what? Not nosy. Anyway, so what do we have here? Macron is a mini tyrant, wannabe great Napoleon, I guess. So what's going on? I said on a few occasions in my videos that Macron, this is his second and last term as the president of France, he would definitely like to change the constitution of France in order to expand his reign, because I don't see where he can go. Wherever Macron goes out of the position of president of France, he's going to go down. He's not going to move laterally. He's going to go down, south. There is any position, NATO secretary, anything that you can find for Macron is gone. He's too young to disappear. And why would he? I said he will work on a constitution to change it. I got some articles here, actually one article for you that I think set the stage for that one. And I like Sputnik because they picked a great picture to exemplify, or at least to show us Macron. Right, here it is. Macron says, limit of 2 consecutive presidential terms takes away some of voters' freedom. And see his face over there? What do you do? Where are you going? No, go over here. It's like he's gonna do what you want to come here to me? Oh man. Okay. All right. So, oh my God, what do you want to do? I'm show them your butt. Show them your butt. I'm gonna go there. Don't destroy anything. He heard the dog outside. So I see this picture of Macron, and that's the way I see him. Like a that's when I think I'm gonna do it. You're gonna do it, my man. You're gonna do it. Remember when they were talking about Putin with his changing the constitution and so on? Putin did not do anything illegal under the Russian law. Nothing. They say, well, he's been in power for 25 years. How was he in power? He got elected the first time, he got elected the second time, then he was prime minister, right? When Medvedev was. Then he's got again in power, elected as a president, and now elected again as president. Nothing illegal. What are you talking about? What are they talking about? They changed the constitution legally. He didn't give a decree saying, now we're going to change the this is how these baboons were made to believe and think. That's not how it happened. The Duma and the process, he followed the constitution's process. And I'm pretty sure Mr. will do it too, right there. Here he is. French President Emmanuel Macron has said he has no intention of changing France's constitution. Why do you talk about it? Why do you talk about it then? But, when you hear but, honey, I will never cheat on you. But, that's it. No. What? You know what I mean? Or, I will never commit that kind of thing. But, just leave it there. But he says, but, oops, let's don't see that one. All right. But believes the limit of 2 consecutive presidential terms, and I'm quoting, takes away some of the freedom of voters. Well, then, are you okay with Putin staying in power forever? His problem is he's young. And this is the end of the road. I mean, Sarkozy, Hollande, and others were much older than he was. So obviously he doesn't want to leave. Look at this weasel. That's a weasel, man. Now, and I'm quoting, it doesn't necessarily mean that I would like to run for a third term. Doesn't necessarily mean, but when we put prohibitions in the law, we somehow take away some of the freedom of sovereign voters. That's correct. He said to the newspaper, exactly, when you limit me at 70 miles per hour on a freeway and I can drive, let's say, 200 because I'm good, you limit me. When you tell me that I should pay this chunk of my income, of my revenue, my money to the IRS, you limit my freedom. When you told me that I can have this or I can have this, or I have to go and register, I have to register that and that and that and that and that, what does that mean? Let's put it this way. Okay? What does it mean? By the way, this is a Walter 40 caliber. Anyway, so what does that mean? You limit me at every corner. That's true, Macron. But there are some other ones who want to be limited like this. Why? Because we're afraid of tyranny. And I will show you Mr. Macron's past. Mr. Macron, if you remember the pension reform in France, that's for me the moment that did it, you know, it's like the victim is already dead, but you're still shooting the victim. Boom, 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 is still dead. Okay? That's for me like shooting in a dead body. That's how, for me, that was the French pension reform. Why? Because one person, took it from the Grand Assembly or whatever they have, the Congress in France. They took it from he took the law that they were supposed to vote in 48 hours, within 48 hours or something, or 24 hours, and he signed it and said, fuck it, give it to me, gave it. And he didn't do anything illegal. Nothing. Under the French law, which is a lot of freedom, liberté, égalité, and faxité. Okay, all right. All those things were okay. And they were okay. For me, that was like another bullet and the body did not even move. So I think, and let me show you this. I said this many, many times in previous videos where I said Macron would like to change the constitution in order to run the third time or the fourth time, the fifth time. And here are some right here. Look at this one. This was uploaded in March 17, 2023. Macron doesn't like democracy. He bypasses parliament. Let me see what I said. Bypassed parliament, vote, and enacted pension reform, riots in France. He didn't care. What happened? Where are the riots? Gone. So he did it. Next one, French democracy. Protesters in Paris protest in Paris's constitution. Court approves pension reform. So it was all legal. Macron won. Another example of Western rotten pretense of democracy. Referendum rejected. Macron rules. So I got this guy's number for some time. And he would like to do that. And I think he's going to do anything that he can to do it. National security, for something. But what if there's a war with Russia? And what if he has to stay in power? I know some martial law. He's the one who's going to save us. Like, think so? Fucking. That's the way I'm going to call this guy. Remember this video. So let's see what else these guys can tell us about Macron, which I think that's the whole thing. Last September, 2 participants in Macron. Let me show you. Important. Last September, 2 participants in Macron's talks with political parties representatives said he expressed a belief that not being able to be re-elected is seriously stupid. Not seriously. Ruinously. Ruin is stupid. Macron dropped the phrase in response to a proposal by Jordan Bardella, leader of the far-right National Rally Party, to introduce a single 7-year presidential term. In response to opposition criticism, Macron's party said the president was probably joking. That's exactly like the Bible. When it doesn't make sense, it's metaphorically. Don't take it seriously. Okay, yeah, all right. The second presidential term in Macron, who was first elected to the French presidency in 2017, expires in 2027. My boy, you got a lot of years still there. Under the French constitution, a president cannot be elected for more than 2 consecutive 5-year terms. change the constitution. Or his problem is this: his party is losing ground. It's supposedly Marine Le Pen's far-right party is better, but it doesn't really matter how people vote. It matters who counts the votes, or the machines that count the vote, and who's behind them. Click, click, click. You know what I mean. So his party goes down. I don't think Le Pen is going to ever win. She's not going to be allowed. And I don't think if she's going to win, she can do shit. The same as Trump. You got the infrastructure, bureaucracy already there. Right? But let's say if she wins and then he tries again, if his party goes up, then he can be re-elected in 5 years after his term expires in 2027. So that means you can have it in 2032, you can have Macron again for 10 years if he's re-elected. Or maybe he gonna be a candidate for his Jewish, right? Prime Minister of France, yeah, the 36-year-old guy, right? With his boyfriend being the foreign minister, 38 former boyfriend. But you say that's meritocracy in this world, in this West. Well, at least they allow us to have our beer and the bread and circus, as the Romans in their last leg of their empire. Give them bread and circus, and they will be happy. Give them, beer, some food to have, dope, a lot of it. Give them, make it legal, and then garbage on the TV that will, and then give them the 5 minutes of hate, as George Orwell said in 1984 in the dystopian novel. And that's it, man. They don't need more. The baboons don't need more than that. Actually, after all, they can have only fleas from one another. Or I can use Albert Einstein, and I'm safe when I say that. Why? Because he's also, you can touch him with a flower. 99.9% of the world's population, that's allegedly what he said, doesn't need brain. Brain is an appendix. It's not necessary. The backbone is enough. Why? You need to eat and just look around with a mask on, preferably. Yeah. So yes, my guy over there, he's going to work for it. He's got 4 years. No, 4 years, 3 years. He's got 3 years to work on that. That's like a lifetime on Mars. Or on Jupiter. Let's put it Jupiter. Bigger, right? And then you got longer days, years. All right, my friends, here it is. I told you so. It's going to happen. Your little dictator. It's coming. But it's going to be legal. All legal. If he says and does the right thing for the guys out there, he's going to be all legal. They're going to find the justification. But hey, Putin, no. Niet. Niet. Why? He's not our boy. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.